Hello there, everybody. Welcome back. I'm here to be talking about Helluva Season 2, Episode 12, which is the finale of Season 2, and it basically takes place right after the last episode, the Mastermind, where, Stolas is getting accustomed to, being mortal and not having his wealth and power anymore, and he's just kind of laying low, living with, Blitz at his apartment, while also trying to get in contact with his daughter, who, she's under the custody of his terrible wife and her brother. And so, before I really dive into this, I will say there will be spoilers, so I just want to give you all a heads up there. One of the main things I really love is like those moments of, calmness, like those moments of where the stakes aren't high, and you just see the characters living, like you just see them, just doing their normal routine. And one of the things I really loved is like seeing, for one, just how happy Blitz is to have Stolas and how smitten and happy he is and stuff. And he's even cooking him food, which is great. And of course, I love the little montage of them, like just doing a normal daily routine of them like going out and, especially this moment where they're like changing, like Stolas is getting new clothes. Like, that type of stuff I really love. But also, like, the episode, it's really interesting because in terms of a plot, there isn't really, like, the main plot is, Stolas trying to get in touch with his daughter, which, you have that there. But the episode is just kind of them just going through the motions and just, living their normal lives. Blitz is doing his job with Imp, and Stolas is just kind of moping and being sad. And, the main plot doesn't really come into gear until near the end of the episode, where they have that confrontation at, Stolas' castle, which, I'll get to in a minute. But I kind of like this, and I'm surprised by the discourse. No one's really acknowledged how the story isn't really there. It's just, I wouldn't say it's fan service, but there's a lot of characterization, if you will, of just seeing them go through the motions. Like, you have little stuff, trickled in by some of the characters, like Millie. There's a lot of, foreshadowing and like hints about what's going on with her by the end of the episode, which I'll, discuss. And I don't know, I kind of really like that. Like, you don't really have to really go full in on like a plot and do beat for beat. You can have these little moments of the characters just, bouncing off each other, just going through the motions and all. And of course, when you get to the finale, that's really when it all comes to a head, because for one, you see, obviously Stella does not care about, Via, the daughter, and you just see how her and her, brother Andropoulos are just, being terrible to her, just like, oh, she wants to speak to her dad, that deadbeat, and they're just not being great to her. And I just think that's kind of funny because, like, a lot of people who were, like, Stella defenders because, Stolas cheated on her, he's a homewrecker, he ruined the family, and I was kind of in that boat on, Stolas is a horrible person in Season 1, but Season 2 did tremendous things for his character, in my opinion, and that goes back to that first episode, seeing his backstory and really understanding, Stella was always horrible, women can be terrible too. It isn't just men who could be, abusive and all, which I really do appreciate them doing that, because there's that stereotype on how, women are always the ones who are mistreated and abused by the men. And while that does happen a lot in society, which is terrible, there can also be men who, especially men who are like, having to suppress what they're really, like their sexuality and all, and are kind of like trying to put on the facade or being forced into a marriage, if you will. Like, women can be just terrible to them, and it's really, it's a really important thing. I'm glad that despite everyone getting mad about, wow, there's no development or character depth for Stella, which I agree, she is a one-note jerk, like just a terrible person, but I guess there are kind of people like that, so it's really hard to, like, it sucks in terms of, like, your character not really having any fleshed out depth. Why are they the way they are? But I think that these characters, like the brother and sister, are just kind of obstacles to our main characters. That's why I took it as, and we see that happen all the time. Could there be a bit more development for them about why they are the way they are and stuff? Of course. But it's really hard to nitpick that too much, but I will acknowledge that is a bit unfortunate. And there are some good songs throughout, like, for example, Via, she sings this lovely song. And a lot of people are saying it's kind of like an homage, if you will, to the original song from, I believe, Lululand, where Stolas is saying to her about, you'll be okay and stuff. And, she's kind of saying it like she doesn't have him anymore, because in her mind, he abandoned her to go be with Blitz, which he kind of did, but she doesn't know the full picture on, he was literally about to be, executed. He was literally about to be killed. And so Stolas was like oh my goodness, I have to do something. And so he rushed in, not thinking of everything, which Stolas does acknowledge, like how he, throws a little fit in the office, freaking out and stuff, which was hilarious. And sad, of course, like the animations throughout, especially for Stolas. I love him so much. He's one of my, he's getting up there. He's getting up there to be one of my favorites in this series. And I just really loved, like, he feels like, it's really tricky because he feels like obviously regret and all, because he was forced to choose between his daughter and his first love, the person that he's known since when he was a kid, and he made that choice. And it's really walking that fine line on, no matter what he'd choose, he was not going to be happy. And I think it really emphasizes on that last shot you see with Stolas and Blitz hugging, because Stolas is just really, he's just kind of dead inside. He's sad because his daughter hates him. He lost everything. But Blitz is also incredibly happy to have that one person that they just, it's really just hard to describe, but it's just so, it was kind of bittersweet. It was really satisfying. It makes me really looking forward to the next season. And of course, the final battle, there was so much that happens, like so much that happens. For one, I love the icy designs for like the castle and everything, how it looks. It just looks amazing, and of course it fits. It's kind of like, it reminded, like, some people were like, this is Frozen type stuff, and Elsa's took it over, and it's hilarious. But for one, seeing Andromphilus for like just get his his ass kicked, and that was so satisfying. Like really satisfying. Like Stolas, like he was like the villain. Andromphilus was monologuing and talking all that shit, and then Stolas just goes in on him and just pounds him. I was applauding, I was cheering, I was like, kick his butt. It was so satisfying. But then of course once he really locks in, he transforms into what we see as his full demon form, which is like, whoa, like all the power that he has. And just seeing Imp come to save Stolas, and you see all the craziness going on in the episode, like with Luna. We see her in like her new form, which is crazy. You see a lot of, fighting and all. And then of course, like near the end, where Via, has that talk with Stolas, that confrontation. And she acknowledges, she realizes about, his happy meds, which is like to help with his depression and all. She thinks that she's partly responsible, and it's an incredibly tough thing to watch. It's really tragic. And then the last shot, like where Stolas is sobbing, and just the voice acting just is too, like, it's up there. It's great. Like the episode, it's really ties in with a Christmas theme, because it's Sinsmas, so it really ties in well to the holidays. And the one thing about Millie that I wanted to mention that has got a lot of people talking, probably for the wrong reason, is she realizes that she's pregnant. And instead of being happy and all, which is how it's mainly portrayed about, you're gonna have a kid, she's devastated. She's crying because, and there's a lot of top discussions that have come from this. A lot of people are saying, well, for one, of the business she's in and her job, her profession, what she feels like this is her, like she's this tough, tooth and nail, like badass, and now she's gonna be, shackled with this kid, which I believe, no one's really said this, but I'm gonna say this, she should have worn a condom. Because for real though, like if you don't want to have a kid, take the precautions to not have that kid. But besides that, which is so obvious that no one said it, so I had to. A lot of people are saying that this could be, a potential of like, this could be like showing in a way about, to get an abortion, for her to get an abortion, or some of them have called it a hell abortion. I really don't know what they're going to do with that, but I highly doubt that they'll do that, because I think that'll turn off a lot of people, and it's just such a controversial, like tough topic because of a lot of people's opinions and stances on that might ruin her character for a lot of fans. So I really hope they don't go that route and her do that. I think that, she, like, it's just gonna be, I don't know what they're gonna do in season 3, but that is one of the lingering points that wasn't a main focus in the episode, but it really leaves me questioning and thinking about what they're gonna do. And of course, before all the craziness happens, they Blitz and all were hired to do one of their jobs, and because this bitter lady was mad that her husband left her and stuff, so they go to do it, and they see that it's a happy family. It's 2 husbands with kids, and it then cuts to what, like, Blitz has a realization he doesn't want to do this job, and he sees what he really wants so bad, which is a loving family with Stolas. And I think that maybe this could happen going forward. I think it's going to be a lot of work to do to get Via, on their side again, and to not have this resentment and hatred for her dad. But, like, I really hope that something like that happens, because that would be so beautiful. But this episode was great all around. Voice works were great. The small moments of them just being together and just bonding, Stolas and Blitz. The crazy high highs of what happens near the end. And the animation was stellar. It was truly something that was great to end the season on, and leaves you with a lot of questions going forward about what we want to see. But so much happened in this episode. There was a lot of great stuff, and I highly recommend checking it out. I hope you did, because I spoiled it, but here are my thoughts on Helluva Boss Season 2, Episode 12. Again, what y'all think? Please let me know down below in the comment section. And if you want to hit the bell as well to get notified of when I upload, that would mean so much to me. Again, thank you all so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!